Ginger Gargoyle here. Look, my fingers are dirty. Okay, this is not a haul video. It's a tip video. Look, pretty green paper. Mostly because I can't find my green background. Okay, this is a tip, and it concerns stamps and ink pads. What's your tip, Meg? That's what you're asking, Ginger. Okay, here's my tip. My tip is to make yourself some cards so that you can keep track as to how the colors work out. Now, this is just printer paper. I would suggest using the regular cardstock, the cardstock you usually print on or stamp on, and you want to cut it into pieces that are 2 3/4 inches, okay, by 2 1/8 inches. All right. And the reason you want it to cut like that is so that you get, if I remember correctly, you get 16 out of a sheet of paper. If I am remembering correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think you get 16 out of there because it'll cut 4 by 4. All right, so you cut a bunch of those, and then this is great to do with a brand new stamp that you get that you need to season. Okay, you want it to be kind of a solid stamp, something that's going to give you a solid image. All right, and I chose this one from Lavinia because it needed to be treated. Especially if you are working with the clear stamps like this, they generally come from the factory with a little bit of a coating on them. My understanding is that's from the process of making the stamp. And so by doing these little samples, you're seasoning the stamp so that it will hold your ink better. And then when you go to stamp an actual project, you don't have to worry so much about it. Plus, it gets you familiar with your stamp. All right, you can see this is kind of dirty. We'll talk about that afterwards. All right, I used my Memento stamps. Now, as you can, or my Memento ink pads. As you can see, Memento ink pads have very colorful outsides. But the one thing I learned, especially with my Spectrum Noir, is that sometimes the outside color does not actually match up to the inside color. So that's another reason you want to do these ink swatches. And what I did was I took my stamp. All right, now you can put it on a block if you want to put it on a block. You can put it on your stamp mat if you want to put it on your, or not the mat, the stamp plant form, if that's the way that you do your stamping, whichever way you do it. This one I took out and I just turned it upside down because, to tell the truth, it didn't really matter how it landed on the stamp, just so long as it didn't move. Now, I wrote on here the name of the ink and the name of the company that made the ink and the name of the ink itself, so I know what to refer back to. And I took my ink and I inked it all over, and then I just took my paper and I just put it on there. Okay, and the way that it stamped was the way that it stamped, and I made sure that I rubbed it over very well. You can see this one I kind of missed right there, but it's a clear miss. It's straight on. I don't know how I managed that. Okay, but you can see this is Rhubarb, and this one is Ladybug, Morocco. The Morocco surprised me. I thought Morocco was going to be more orange, but it's kind of more of a burnt orangey red. more of a terracotta. And you can see I went through and I did each of these. Now between each of the prints, you want to clean your stamp off, and you want to clean it off really well. I suggest you start with your lighter colors and work to your darker colors. I also suggest breaking your colors into color groups. So do all the greens at the same time, do all the yellows at the same time, do all the reds at the same time. And I save the reds till last because red is a very strong color that does not like to wash off your stamps very well. And I did not at the time have a way of wiping off my stamps, so I used a napkin and some Kleenex. And now that I am done with these, oh, and you'll notice that I punched a hole in these, okay? When you get done with your cards, let them dry. Punch a hole in them. Or what I did was I punched the hole first. All right. And then, here's my other ones. Okay, so I punched the hole first. Here they are. Did I not do these ones? I could have swore I did these ones. And then I had an extra piece of card. And this will be my divider or my backing. Okay, and what I'm planning on doing is doing the stamping on just the white regular paper, because then I can get an idea as to what colors bleed through and what colors do not. All right, because some will bleed through more than others. Try to keep your hands clean. All right, guys, I'm just about out of space on my computer, so I have a feeling this is probably going to kick me off. And then I will simply put a piece of ribbon through there to put them together. So I'm going to cut this off and upload this, and then I'll be coming back and doing a video on cleaning your stamps. Okay guys, see you in a bit.